It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
With an American Standard heat pump system, the future of heating and cooling your home is already here. Bringing constant comfort to your home, American Standard heat pumps are energy efficient, reliable, and ready for tomorrow, today. Plus, making the upgrade from your traditional furnace or AC unit is easier than ever before with home energy offers, rebates, and tax credits. Learn more at americanstandardair.com/electrification. American Standard, built to a higher standard.
You don't just live in your home. You live in your neighborhood as well. So when you're shopping for a home, you want to know as much about the area around it as possible. Luckily, Homes.com has got you covered. Each listing features a comprehensive neighborhood guide from local experts. Everything you'd ever want to know about a neighborhood, including the number of homes for sale, transportation, local amenities, cultural attractions, unique qualities, and even things like median lot size and a noise score. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
Welcome to the Men's Room Appy Hour, broadcast exclusively on Odyssey. Let the shenanigans begin.
All the Charles, welcome to the Men's Room Appy Hour, exclusively on Odyssey and the Odyssey app. Episode number 21. We got a week off there.
Oh, I can drink now.
So happy to be back. That's right. We're of legal age on the Appy Hour. We should crack a beverage every once in a while on this lovely Friday morning.
Yes, we should.
Speaking of that, it is Cakes for Kids Day. If you get a chance during the day, man, go to KISW.com. Help us reach the goal of 20 grand. I believe we have a bit of an uphill climb here coming into the afternoon.
We do, but we're getting closer.
Yeah, so if you've got a business you want to shout out, if you're listening to this, whatever, man, just send in the donation and we'll try to get as much pub for your business or whatever as we can.
Absolutely.
So that's the deal. But there are a bunch of kids in the area that are going to get a brand new pair of shoes for school just because of you.
And you'll hear about it all day today.
That's exactly right.
Get that money.
And as we said, we had the week off. Ted, how was your vacation week?
Awesome, man. I went up kind of in the north end of the state, right? I started at went up to Stanwood. My friend's daughter was having their 6th birthday, but they throw a very good party. They have a huge plot of land, right? I feel like my mom's 80th up there. So, like, it was a party for a little kid, but we got after it pretty good.
It was an adult theme party.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, well,
minus the kids' little games and stuff. Like it was a lot of fun. I won $40 playing cornhole.
How's the food?
Excellent, man. We just did burgers and dogs and stuff, and then later in the night when the kids went to sleep, my buddy made steaks.
Ooh. Yeah. All right.
One drunk guy, I will not use his name, but he almost caught our friend Sean on fire. He was You know sometimes drunk people will focus on something?
Sure.
He was insistent the way he was roasting these marshmallows over the fire was correct. So our buddy Sean, he's had a few beverages, maybe smoked a little something. So he's sitting across the table in a chair. He's not really paying attention. And the one guy's like, look, I'm telling you. And he hands it over to Sean. Sean's not ready for it. It's on fire.
Right. Oh, God.
It is dripping marshmallow. And then my friend Jamie is she's a tiny woman.
All right.
I don't know how to explain it. She stood up. One hand had a glass of red wine. The other hand, she just grabbed Sean's chair and just moved him back.
Nice.
We were calling it mom strength. It was wild.
Damn. The guy was that hammered, he had no idea what he was doing?
Yeah, he's a bit of a hard-headed dude anyhow.
Okay.
So I don't know. I just was happy he didn't flick it at him because, it was on fire. And have you seen the new bigger marshmallows?
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got these big girthy sons of bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was one of those, Mike. And then that Sunday, I drove up to Anacortes. I have a good friend, Troy. He lives up there now. Stayed at the casino, played some bubble craps because I'm an old man.
All right.
Nice.
Where did we go? Secret Cove in Anacortes. On Sundays, good seafood restaurant. Happy hour all day on Sunday.
Ooh.
Yeah. Get the half and half. It's half clams, half mussels.
Okay,
And it's like this bread they make in-house with Parmesan. It's delicious. Little brown, what's it? The brown lantern. Anacortes. We had a lot of fun in there that night.
That's a strong name.
Brown Lantern?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Superhero.
Yeah.
right, then we went out to Friday Harbor, went to Westcott Oyster Farm, almost ran out of gas. Just awesome, man. There's like,
Thought we were going to die.
yeah, Jimmy's a legend on that island, all right? Jimmy lives in San Diego now. Like, I was trying to play it cool, right? Like, it's kind of out in the country for me. Jimmy's like, oh, we're out of gas. And he hits his thing, and it's like, you're 0 miles to empty. Then after the first round of oysters, I go, hey, Jimmy, your car's like a hybrid or something, right? No, man. We're just out of gas. But that's the way those islands work. Like, eventually, one of the girls that worked there, like, her boyfriend showed up at his, I don't know what you call those little Kubota or what, not Kubota,
like
gator.
like one of the gator things.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, I got you, Jimmy. I'll
Little
put your gas
utility.
in it.
Huh.
Got a hybrid.
Haley's and Friday Harbor. That's my new bar when I go there. Other than that, I was going to say.
Friday Harbor's a great place.
Friday Harbor's dope, man.
I mean, it is in the middle of nowhere, but if you're going for a weekend,
Yeah.
And trust me, park in Anacortes, right?
Yeah,
and
you walk.
on. I don't want to say Troy and I are degenerates, but we were sitting at Haley's. You could see everything loading up. We were the last two people on the ferry. Guys like, all right, come on.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like,
did they men's room IPA on the ferry?
this ferry did not.
Okay.
But their Black Raven beer was out of stock either way.
Okay. All right.
So I think eventually it'll get there. What else did we do? I will say the casino up there was great. Then, Wednesday just kind of recouped, did some laundry and stuff, made a delicious shrimp salad.
Ooh.
Also, have you guys ever been to the Wedgwood Broiler?
No.
No.
Never knew it existed. Found out about it last week.
Oh, it's the old school place.
Yes.
It's the brown building.
Yeah.
It looks like an old family restaurant.
All right. They have a lounge in the back.
Yeah.
Awesome. I fell in love with the place. I'm like, I'm going to start coming here all the time.
Where's Wedgwood?
I don't know how to describe that neighborhood. It's in between, like, I guess, is it Laurelhurst and,
Okay. So, like,
kind of Pinehurst area?
all right.
Like, honestly, I don't know how I've never been in that part of Seattle, but I've learned since I moved to North Seattle, for some reason, I just didn't know all these neighborhoods in North Seattle existed.
Oh, me neither, man.
Yeah. And then Thursday night, we meet up with Mike. We're going to the Rainiers game Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah,
and we have
baby.
planned this thing out. When did we play this?
Like a month or two in advance?
I was going to say it was like May or June.
Yeah.
So we're all pumped. Dirty Oscar's Annex, by the way, has great food if you want to do some happy hour in Tacoma.
Phenomenal food.
So recently I've been to a Dead show. I was wearing my little Dead bracelet, and we get to the Rainiers game, and the guy's wearing this cool-ass Dead hat. And I'm like, that's a great hat. Like, I'm a Dead guy. And he's like, well, they're selling them in there. It's the Grateful Dead night at the Rainiers game.
That was going to be my question. Why are they
Thirsty
selling
Thursday, Deadhead night. I mean, it was awesome. I was going to say. And then Friday, had a cookout over at our friend Rochelle's house. She has has a new puppy, which I usually love dogs and stuff. That is a big golden retriever puppy, and he was on me from the moment we got there.
She showed me lots of pictures
Yeah.
of her dog, yes.
And then, what was I going to say? And then I think the rest of the weekend kind of just ran errands, caught up, cleaned up, caught up on laundry, and just kind of just chilled out.
Okay.
But awesome time. Friday Harbor, I highly recommend it. Walk on that ferry, go over there. It's great.
Mike, how about your week there?
Good week. Kind of a good, relaxing week. Started on the Saturday that we, basically that first weekend that we were out, heading all the way up to Linwood to Emerald City Harley Davidson to hang out with my friends at the Law Tigers. Did a little appearance there. Gave away a Harley Davidson, which was fun. But that was also the same time that the men's basketball in the Olympics was going for the gold. It was the final game, and it was a little bit quiet in there as we were kind of just waiting for everybody to show up. So I just put it on my phone, and then all of us there were just sitting there watching the game as it kind of came to a finish. So that was fun. On Monday, the lady and I we went to the Titanic exhibit that's actually up here in Seattle, and that was a good time. Learned quite a bit. Man, honestly, you look at it and you find so much there, but we all three retain the same bit of information that those first class suites that were on the Titanic, adjusted prices, they basically paid the equivalent today of $80,000.
Wow.
For those first class suites.
To die.
Wow.
Yeah, to just go ahead and die on those
Do you
things.
get a rebate on that shit?
Right? You'd think so.
I mean,
That's crazy.
I'm just saying, if I'm one of the survivors, right, I give you the equivalent of $80,000. I'm sure the accommodations are what they are.
Right.
Well, your fucking ship sank. I lost half my friends. Now, I survived. Like, you think it's like the airline industry where it's like, we'll give you points for your next trip.
Right.
Right? Like, I want my money back.
We got the Olympic over here.
Dude,
if you
when I
wanna
was a
take
kid, I
that
was
one.
fascinated by the Titanic.
How many days was the Titanic even
Ooh,
on the? Was it day
so-
3?
Well, I mean, you
Like-
got to think they were almost at the Eastern Seaboard.
Yeah. They
Okay.
had almost made it.
They made it 3/4 of the way over.
And there was a couple ports of call over in Europe that it hit
Oh,
before
really?
it made the big trek
Now,
over here.
Did you know that before you went to the exhibit?
No.
I feel
But
better
they
then
but
because
they
I'm like,
showed
I
the
had
map
no idea.
of where, like, and then I think France was the last place that saw it before.
really?
Before it actually made it out.
Because
there.
even in the movie, right, it takes off from England and that's it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. Which
See,
doesn't
make
make
that
sense.
movie.
That- you should-
make that
you
movie
should,
the ports of call before they died. Like, hey, here's the upbeat Titanic story.
They had when I did this, like I did a book report. I was just fascinated by it. So
Yeah.
there was an old black and white Titanic movie,
Okay.
and you could tell that the icebergs in the water when they're jumping off the boat. They're all styrofoam.
Right.
It's. I
whole
should go
thing
back and watch.
shifts when the boat hits
but,
it.
But for whatever reason, man, any kind of maritime disasters, like I've read every fucking article about that yacht that sunk in Italy.
Okay.
Because basically, they are in a bay. They're in like a cove, a cay, if you will.
Sure.
Sometimes they call it that. But either way, so it's calm water. They're in a protected area. They have their anchor down. It's deep water. They have their masks down. So this is what causes that tornado to kind of be active, that water spout, because the water's flat.
Yeah.
And it takes those things come from the bottom before they meet the top.
Sure.
So you can't have like 9-foot waves. You're not in that kind of a storm. They're anchored. They're in bed. This thing hit at like fucking 1 o'clock in the morning.
Surprise!
So when the reason
Gotcha.
the reason they haven't been able to get these guys out of here and find them technically is because like the cook, yeah, he's walking around cleaning up, prepping shit like that. He's in the kitchen walking around.
Sure.
Everybody else went to bed.
Yeah, they're in the cabin.
They locked their doors.
Right.
You know, they had to go in there and unlock those doors to go in those bedrooms to get those and find those people who passed on. They were asleep. You know what I mean? Well, I'm sure they woke up.
Yeah.
But
yeah, probably.
But they didn't even know what was hitting them.
God damn, man. It's
So
fucked up.
did that, and then when we got back, there's a small theater in the Proctor area of Tacoma that I've been wanting to go to for a while. When I was growing up, we had a small theater in Enumclaw called the Chalet that I really liked going to. It's got that old school charm to it. It only shows one movie.
Okay.
And I wanted to go there. So finally saw Deadpool and Wolverine there.
Oh, how was that?
Dude, it's great.
All right.
It's
It
a
seems like
funny
people
movie.
love it.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie. But the thing that really stuck out to me about the theater itself is at one point I did need to drop the kids off at the pool, as it were. And they do have a bathroom that is upstairs. You go up the stairs of this place, and I'm expecting, a men's room and a ladies' room door.
Sure.
No. You go to the upstairs of this building, and then you have the landing up there where the stairs finish, and there's a couple chairs where you can sit and wait for the available stall. One stall that has a toilet, and it's got a sink and a mirror and all that.
It's just one stall.
It's one stall
Total.
that is only closed off by one of those little saloon-style doors that you can then latch shut. The top
Does this
is
mean I
open.
can see you in there taking a shit?
I can see your feet.
I mean,
It
can I
would
see
not
your
be
feet?
difficult. It would not be difficult
Okay,
to
all
see
right,
me in there.
okay.
Now it's recessed quite a bit, so I mean you got to take a few steps before you get to the toilet.
Do I know you're in there, or would I wander up to your door to peek over top and see you sitting on
You
the
would
toilet?
wander up and push on the door, and then the latch would catch there, and then you would hopefully
Can I see over it?
you could see under it. You might be.
Now that would be fucking weird if someone looked under the door.
I don't know if you could see over it. You might be able to tiptoe and see up and over it if you really wanted to peek in there. But so I
would do that too.
I got done with my stuff as fast as I possibly could, and then got the hell out of there. Great movie, enjoyed ourselves. Throughout the week was still kind of your normal deal. I did the auction on Tuesday, which was fine, and we just kind of hung out on Wednesday. Thursday was the day of the Rainiers game, and I did have one thing that I really wanted to accomplish is I wanted to try a brisket again.
All right.
I usually smoke something on any of the weeks that we have off. This was my next attempt on the brisket because the first one just absolutely failed, and I found something else out about my smoker.
Do you know what you fucked up on?
I do. So on the grill that I have, it's a Pit Boss grill, and it's got a little dial on there that you can set it to the temperature that you want it to, and it's also got a smoke setting on there. Everything that I read said that when you smoke a brisket, you want the temperature to be anywhere between like 195 to 225, something like that, right?
All right.
So everything said set your smoker to 200, set it to 225. I was like, all right, fine. So I would turn it on to 200 or 225. That's the cooking setting. That is not the smoking setting. I hadn't figured out how to properly calibrate the smoke setting because what it also has, Miles, is a thing called a P setting, a pause setting, which is basically it's the pause between how long it takes to feed more pellets into the fire.
Okay.
So the higher the P setting, the longer the pause, the lower the temperature, and the more smoke you get. And then the opposite. The lower the P setting, the quicker it's feeding those hops, the higher the temperature, and the lower the smoke. So I had to really adjust that one and really calibrate it, and I checked it every hour. And the first 6-8 hours of that smoke, I was going in and I was adjusting that P setting every time to maintain that temperature. Eventually put it to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning after I wrapped it, and I left it in there still around the 195 range. Woke up around 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that, and took it out, put it in a cooler, threw some towels on it, and then it was just going to wait until Ted and Sean came over, and then we were going to finally try this thing. Dude, that thing felt like a doggone Jello mold when I pulled it out of it.
Yeah.
It felt so freaking great. Now it was still on the little bit dry side, but I can continue to try to dial that in. But this
so
was
how many hours altogether was it?
15 hours.
So maybe just like 12 next time?
No, you still need to do that amount of time. I would also what you can do when you wrap it, there's some people that put like apple cider vinegar down. They will melt down the fat that you cut off of the brisket and then turn that into a tallow, and that kind of helps keep the moisture in there as well.
Did you have a cap on that thing?
Did I have a cap on it? Fat cap, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They say that keeps a lot of the moisture in, and
It does.
never take that off if you're afraid of drying it down.
And I do it cap side down, and there's a lot of argument in the smoking community whether you do it fat side down or meat side down. I have not tried it meat side down yet. That might be my next venture.
Because it's supposed to just melt down into...
Well, and
That's the theory.
some people will cut off what are the 2 points? The point and
the point and the flat.
And some people will just separate them before they smoke them.
Yeah,
But
that's another way to
I
go
kind
about
of
it, too.
yours turned out great. Head and shoulders above the last one. But
100%.
Yeah.
So had our fun there at the Rainiers.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragececk.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragececk.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
A lot can happen between falling in love with a house and owning it. Having an advocate who can help you navigate negotiations, timelines, inspections, and more can make all the difference. That's what the expertise of a Realtor can do for you, because that's who we are. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
This game had a good old time. Drank a whole crap ton, and then passed
Miles,
out at our place.
$3 12-ounce Michelob Ultra cans.
All night long.
Like, we were at happy hour, then it was like, dude, let's just go to the game. This will be the cheapest beer we'll have in Tacoma.
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah, we hit the,
That's got to be the cheapest beer anywhere.
we hit the
Jesus
Crown Bar
Christ.
there on 6th. We hit O'Malley's on 6th. We ran into Uncle Doug.
Uncle Doug.
And then we went over to Dirty Oscars, had some great food. And then on Friday, one more thing I wanted to smoke at my wife's request, because I asked her, anything that you want me to do? And she says, I want you to make me a mac and cheese. And I made a smoked mac and cheese that, by God, I've been eating it all week long. It is
Really?
fantastic, dude.
That sounds good.
It came out
How many
so
different
freaking good.
cheeses did you throw in there?
Just 2, honestly.
So you don't need a lot.
No. So the cheese sauce that I made was basically you start with a roux, put some what was it? It was butter that you melted down, and then you put some flour in there and some seasonings, and then you put half and half in there. Go until it thickens up. Poured that into a bunch of shredded cheddar and mixed it around until it made a cheese sauce. Mixed in the noodles, and then I layered that. I put down a layer of macaroni, spread some Mexican 4-cheese blend, put down another layer of macaroni, and just kind of repeat that process till the thing's full.
Do you realize that's one step away from beer cheese? If you just take a heavier beer like a porter or
Yeah.
whatever and
Okay.
pour that in there on top of it and cook it down,
Nice.
that's your pretzel dip, man.
Okay.
So the same
might be my next
sauce
try.
you're putting into the macaroni and cheese, if you for some reason like had some grilled bread or whatever, man, that's fucking beer cheese.
Okay. I'll have to try that next time. 3 hours of smoking that one came out perfect. The smoky flavor still held in there. I finally got that frickin' chamber to smoke on the inside there, get a little bit of extra smoky flavor in there. And then on Saturday, I had an auction down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so I got up at 2:30 in the morning. And I made my way over to the airport to fly out there, and this was going to be my first expedition when I had my TSA pre-check, and I was stoked about that because, I go into SeaTac all the time throughout the year, and I can see that, the TSA pre-check lines are all the way down there, whereas your, commoner line is got so much more length to it. So, finally, I can go to the TSA pre-check line. 4 o'clock in the morning, Miles, there is one TSA line that is open, and I had to take it.
Well, that still helps.
It does. It absolutely does. And I still got to keep my shoes on and everything that went down there. It was for the University of New Mexico, the Lobos Club down there. Raised over $1 million for the Lobos Club, which was a great time. Had some fun with my dad on the way out. Last year, what we did is we grabbed a beer from the bar and we headed on up to the hotel room. When we went over there, they'll only give you one beer at a time, and so Dad and I both get a Mexican beer with a lime, and we head on up there. He gives me his. He says, I only matched your order because I wanted you to have a second beer. I'm going to go upstairs and drink some of the whiskey that I brought.
Yeah.
He bought a bottle of Canadian Club whiskey that Friday that he had got in there, and it was maybe a quarter of the way gone by the time I got there. We polished that sucker that night, dude.
Nice.
And I went to bed at probably midnight and then had to get up at 3:30 in the morning for another 5:30 flight back out home. I was so messed up. My stomach was just in knots. Like, I need coffee. I don't feel good. So Sunday was just all recovery, and then, so good weekend. Had a great week.
Steve, how's Delaware?
It was not hot. That's all I cared about. We thought it'd be like 95 degrees, 95% humidity. That's normally the thing, but it was like 70. It was like a Seattle summer day, 79 degrees, blue sky.
That's awesome.
No humidity. Finally got my son. The one thing he was freaking out about, he loves to swim, but he swims in Washington State. So it's all lakes and pools, right? The Atlantic Ocean, it's a little rough out there. So he kept saying, I'm not getting in the water. I'm like, dude, just get into the water. He even told me, he said, Dad, if you try to carry me into the water, I'm throwing hands. That's a quote. I said, dude, I'm not going to force you to go in, but you should go in. So the first 3 days he wouldn't go in. Finally, he got in. He got the hang of how to deal with the waves.
All right.
Which is don't stand where they break because it's like getting punched in the face. Go out a little further and just ride the wave. That's all you got to do. But he finally got the courage up to do it. That was good. Just a little personal victory for him. Otherwise, it was just fucking loud. It's all the cousins and... Like I said, it's like taking your dog to the dog park, and there's 40 other dogs there. Your dog's going to go ape shit. So all the cousins, they're anywhere from 6 to 16. And it sounded like it, and they had a good time, and they went fucking nuts. I just ate a lot of crab. I mean, that's about it. Read a book. The only thing I didn't like about this house, so it's 25 people in there, man.
Good God.
Jeez.
It's a big-ass house. So, and in spite of that, right, you're still kind of on top of each other. But where my wife and I got a room, there's a bathroom between us and some other cousins' bedroom, right? Mm-hmm. They're both 21, so they're up a little later, which figures into this story. Because when all the younger kids are done going nuts and having their sugar highs and all that, they go down and get drinks bought for them at the beach, right? They're 21, they're women, you're in a beach town, of course. Well, the bathroom is in between us, and none of the doors are like the full covered. It's a louvers.
It's kind of like a closet door.
Yeah, it's like a closet door, so...
They're the folding ones,
and like
they always come off
you
the
can
tracks.
see out. You can kind of see them, but you can't see the actual person. You know what I'm saying? But you can hear everything. And the problem is, like night 2, I got a chocolate milkshake made with whole milk, and now about 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up with just huge gut pain, and I knew it was coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you're at the beach. Milkshake just works.
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, fuck. Even my wife's like, dude, I said, man, I know, but it's so good. Fuck it. I don't care. We're on vacation. Well, now it's 3 in the morning. I can see the light is still on in the 21-year-old girl's room, and I have to take a shit. And their door is maybe 3 feet away from the bathroom door, and it was impossible for me to shit quietly. So you're in there just doing what you can. Oh, dude, it was like that. Every time I relax my muscle, that is about the sound you got.
Oh, no.
And it was probably like a 10-minute shit. It was bad. You know what I mean? And anyway, yeah, that's all they heard. So, I wipe my ass, I go back to bed. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. But the next morning, just the briefest of eye contact with both of them. And in that billionth of a second, they basically said, we heard you shitting on the toilet last night. Like, there was no doubt about it. And sadly, that's my most memorable part.
It's family.
It is, man, but nobody needed to hear.
It's your wife's family.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's her family. They're probably like, God damn, she married a nasty motherfucker.
God. What did I do? I went down to Oregon to play golf. Shocking, right?
Oh, yeah.
I went to Gearhart, which is north of Seaside. I'll tell you, Seaside is about 3 hours and a half away. It is a great little town. There's a little indoor amusement park with bumper cars, miniature golf. There are rides in there. There's all kinds of stuff for the kids. There's cotton candy, ice cream shops. If you go down there, I'd recommend an Italian restaurant called Noni's, or an Italian Nunnies, which means grandmother. It's fucking fantastic.
Okay.
Food.
Nannies.
If Grandma's making food, it's going to be
yeah.
fantastic.
McMinimans, by the way, in Gearhart. If you're ever in that area, go there for a beer. Go there just to hang out. It is. They have fire pits outside. They have little mini bars everywhere. Ended up playing a course.
I swear by the McMinimans.
They're awesome. The
The one in
great.
Bothell, the Anderson School is great.
Yeah.
It has fire pits and stuff. The one down in Bend is awesome. They're just phenomenal.
I have different menus depending on where they are.
Forgot to mention, I went to McMenamins over the break with our buddy Joe. Had a couple drinks
even
with
like
he and his
their
wife.
little,
I go there all the time.
even like their pubs are good. And when you go to the resorts, like it's awesome for adults because all the beer and food, but
it's
like
good for
it's
kids.
good for kids.
Oh yeah, no, it's best of both worlds, and everyone is it's a real chill environment. So if you're ever down there, check that out. I went down with my buddy Charlie, met up with Kyle Court.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
You know him from the New Originals and Superfecta.
And every other band
Yeah,
that's in.
Kyle's got a gig. I'm not going to tell people because it's we have a gig on tomorrow in Mike's Chili Parlor, but I'm not going to tell you that Kyle is playing in a Nirvana tribute band at the Crocodile tomorrow night as well.
Of course,
he's
we
playing.
would want to take
He's
attention
playing
away.
drums, but
Is he not playing? I thought he was also playing the Lane Staley.
he might be
benefit.
playing
He
tonight too.
normally
Neptune
he
tomorrow.
normally
He
plays
could
with
be.
them.
but
And I want there's like one other whatever. Dude's a fantastic musician and he's in everything.
and also KISW doing a 25th anniversary Superfecta show. We're promoting that with Crucible Brewing at the Mirkwood Public House, and that is Saturday, October 12th. So those
day
are
before the Hullabaloo.
25 fucking years that band has been around. That's a long time. Kyle hits the ball fucking mile.
He does.
We had a good time, man. We had many transfusions. His father,
nice.
His father-in-law retired, and he lived down there. He told me his father-in-law, when he retired, he took 2 to 3 years and made it a point to go to every Major League Baseball park in the United States
nice.
and watch
Dope.
a baseball game. That was his first item up for bids. Then he just got a fucking place down in Seaside, and he just chills out and fishes, and it's a
Enjoys his life.
Great little town, yeah. So then Tuesday, Charlie and I got up. We blazed down 101. I'm sorry, we crawled down 101.
Well, blazing.
No kidding.
Yeah.
dude.
Well, blazing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're not flying. It seems like every 5 miles is another little small town on the
Yes.
coast, and you got to go 25 miles an hour. Stop at the fucking red light. Stopped at a
The
great
red light.
old school tavern that'd been around for 80 years in Newport, near the cannery and near the bunch of sea lions. Had a fantastic hamburger. Basically, just took our time, taking in the sights.
Yeah.
You cannot believe, though, how far away you are from anything. There was a guy I know that I met down there, and he has to go get a hernia surgery. Hernia. But he lives down there by himself. And he doesn't have any brothers or sisters. Mom and dad passed on, blah, 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 blah. He's from here. He's got to find someone fucking willing to go to the hospital for the 3.5-hour drive.
God.
Spend the night.
Right, because he can't drive himself back.
Yeah, and come back, and he's like, man, I'm just begging people, man, please take me to the hospital. I need to schedule this fucking appointment. But you're just so far away, and all the homes on the way down there, the beach just knocks the shit out of them. The weather, like every house looks dilapidated. You can't even you're like, dude, get the tarp off your roof. You know, it's like that kind of shit. Went down and played band in Dunes. That was a great time. Then made the horrible mistake of driving back on I-5. Might have been shorter to do 101 again. Fucking man, right?
On a Sunday afternoon?
Portland
Yep.
is a fucking shit show.
Oh, no.
I mean, Portland is. You think Seattle traffic is bad? It's bad. I don't know what the fuck goes on in Portland. It's just as bad.
Oh, my God.
It's just as bad.
Yeah.
We break through that, get all the way up to south of Olympia. Traffic is stopped. Stopped until JBLM. I'm talking, and I'm driving, and my fucking foot's hurting because I'm just stop, start. I mean, I want to fucking kill somebody. I just stopped at Outback in Salem, got a hamburger and some delicious.
Did you get a
Get a
blooming onion?
bloomin' onion.
No, because it's
Miles?
you can't get a half bloomin' onion anymore. You got to get the whole fucking thing. It's lunchtime. I'm not eating a fucking
Have
bloomin'
that for
onion
your
for lunch.
snack on the way up.
Nah, dude,
Shit
You're on
yourself before you
vacation.
get
You're
back.
balling. Just eat what you want. Throw it away.
Believe it or not, we'd already looked at Waze, and this is no lie. And we saw some red lines, like, in Portland and all that stuff. And I'm like, Charlie, if I get a bloomin' onion, man, I said, there might be a chance that we need to pull over immediately. It's just like Hooters chicken wings and Kentucky Fried Chicken. It doesn't stay in my system very long. I'm like, if we're stopped.
The bloomin' onion moves through you quick.
It does.
It's like kale. So I'm like, man, if we get fucking stopped and I got to shit myself, man, like there's no getting off this highway. So we did not get the bloomin' onion. But either way, 10 and a half hours about.
Jesus Christ.
Just to get back home on Sunday night. 10 and a half. Men's Room IPA World Tour stops tomorrow. Mike's Chili Parlor, 5 till 8. Seahawks game is on at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Also saw in the flyer today in my mailbox, Safeway and Albertsons has a screaming deal on the Men's Room IPA.
Nice.
We can't tell you the price, unfortunately, but we can tell you it's as cheap as I've ever seen it. As far as it was advertised in the flyer. I'm like, look at this.
Yeah.
We're in the mail. How fucking cool. You got to be 21 tomorrow for Mike's. Starts at 5. Seahawks kick off at 7. San Juan Salsa will be there. Mike's going to cook up some of Uli's famous men's room beer brats for us.
Nice.
You can have one.
Yeah, it's absolutely free, so stop on by Mike's. And there you go. 21 done, right? Enjoy the weekend, bitches. Hopefully we'll see you at Mike's tomorrow.
Yeah, man, just join us. Otherwise, go fuck yourself.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
It's Gun Storage Check Week and National Suicide Prevention Month. Securely storing your firearms can help prevent suicide. Use lockboxes, safes, and locks to deter unwanted access. Learn more at gunstoragecheck.org and enter to win a gun safe. That's gunstoragecheck.org. If you or someone you know is struggling, call 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Brought to you by NSSF, the Firearm Industry Trade Association.
What kind of programs does this school have? How are the test scores? How many kids do a classroom? Homes.com knows these are all things you ask when you're home shopping as a parent. That's why each listing on Homes.com includes extensive reports on local schools, including photos, parent reviews, test scores, student-teacher ratio, school rankings, and more. The information is from multiple trusted sources and curated by Homes.com's dedicated in-house research team. It's all so you can make the right decision for your family. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Whether you love true crime or comedy, celebrity interviews or news, you call the shots on what's in your podcast queue. And guess what? Now you can call them on your auto insurance too with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive. It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. Get your quote today at Progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.